Chapter 7, Lesson 2. Now we're going to be solving and writing addition equations. 2 vocabulary words you need to add to your notebook. Your first one, inverse operations. They are operations that undo another operation. Your second one is subtraction property of equality. That is subtracting a number from both sides of an equation. It keeps it balanced, and that's what we're going to be doing a lot this lesson. Turn to page 526. Here's our first equation. 8 equals x plus 3. You have 3 terms in this equation. 1, 2, 3. We are trying to isolate the variable. In other words, get the x by itself. So we want the only thing we want on the right side of the equation is x. So we want to get rid of this 3. Plus 3, the opposite, just like we did with the coordinate planes, the opposite of plus 3 is minus 3. You write it underneath it. Whatever you do on the right side of the equation, you do on the left side of the equation. Looking at the right side, over here, if you have plus 3 and you have minus 3, those are opposites, that equals 0. On the left side of the equation, 8 minus 3 is 5 equals x. That's how you solve an equation algebraically. On the bottom, c plus 2 equals 5. You want to get the c by itself. So I want to get rid of this plus 2. The opposite of plus 2 is minus 2. Write it on the left, got to write it on the right. Those cross out because that's 0. 5 minus 2 is 3. You have to write what the variable is, c equals 3. For b, 6 equals x plus 5. I want to get this x by itself, so you have to get rid of the minus 5, or plus 5 with minus 5. Write the same thing on both sides. Plus 5 minus 5, those cross out. 6 minus 5 is 1. So 1 equals x. And everybody's favorite, decimals. Who works with decimals, fractions, you name it. 3.5 plus y equals 12.75. Gotta get the y by itself. So that means I have to subtract 3.5 from both sides. Positive 3.5 minus 3.5 goes away. All that's left on the left-hand side is y. Then you subtract, and you're going to get 9 and 25/100ths. You can check all of these equations by substituting what you get for the variable. On A, we said C was 3. So if we plug it in, 3 plus 2, your equations should be balanced. In other words, both sides should be equal to each other. For B, we had x is 1. If you substitute it back in, both sides should equal each other. Okay, turn to page 528. I want to do some of these problems with you. Our first one is y plus 7 equals 10. Y plus 7 equals 10. Get the y by itself. I do that by subtracting 7 from both sides. You have to show your work. Jacob. Cross out your 7's. Y equals 3. In order to check it, you substitute your answer for y. 3 plus 7 equals 10. 10 equals 10. Number 2. 10 equals 6 plus e. Get the e by itself by subtracting 6 from both sides. The 6's cross out. The left side is 4 equals E. Checking it, 10 equals 6 plus 4, 10 equals 10. There's your check. So you need to solve and you need to check. 2 parts. Number 3, the word problem. A board that measures 19 5/10 meters in length is cut into 2 pieces. One piece measures 7 2/10. Write and solve an equation to find the length of the other piece. So this plus something else is going to equal that. The equation, 7 2/10 plus x. You can use any letter in the alphabet. X is most common. There's no rule that you can't use the other 25. Equals 19 5/10. Get the x by itself. You do that by subtracting 7 2/10. 19 5/10 minus 7 2/10 is 12 3/10. There's your answer. That's what x is. To check it, they need to give us more room. 7.2 plus 12.3 equals 19 5/10. This is your assignment page, page 529, and also you need to do page 531, which is this page. Take your time with these. You're starting algebra. Show your work. Do the checks.